So you don't like shop-bought meatballs, or maybe they're too expensive, or you got mince lying around.
100% average.
Today we're making meatballs. These should taste much better than the shop-bought things, and especially if you use a fresh meat. So the ingredients that you're going to need for this is mustard, tomato puree, Worcestershire sauce, rosemary, and seasoning. So let's get started. What you're going to need, English mustard by the way, 2 teaspoons. Tomato puree, 2 teaspoons. 4 drops of Worcestershire sauce. A sprinkle of rosemary. Now don't get too bad with rosemary, if you have too much it can ruin it. Then again, if you have too little, you won't have enough flavour. And of course, seasoning. I like mine quite spicy, I love my black pepper. And a bit of salt. Half a teaspoon should do it. Up next is, you guessed it, mixing. Now you don't want to mix too much, because then the consistency will go all weird, and we don't want that. Just mix enough to get the ingredients mixed in alright. At this stage you might want to preheat your oven to gas mark 6, that's 400 Fahrenheit or 204 degrees C. So it's time to form our balls. I like big balls personally. And there we go. You're going to have to try to make your balls roughly the same size. Obviously the smaller the balls, the quicker they cook. So let's get these in the oven, shall we? Now it's time to make our marinara sauce, if that's what you want. You can also have meatballs with salad, obviously. What we're going to need for marinara sauce is pepper, onions, tomatoes, mushrooms, and ginger. Tomato tin, some paprika, some chicken stock for extra flavour, and some basil. And don't forget about seasoning. So the ginger's going to go in with the onions and peppers. Season. Now I like to add oil to my vegetables and add them to a hot pan. It coats them more, so then you get more even cooking. Now let's get this on the hob. Now you want it on a medium-high heat, and you want to stir them for about 3 to 5 minutes for the onions to get softened. That's when we can add the tomatoes and mushrooms. Now they have softened a bit, we can add the tomatoes and mushrooms. Stir them in. Now I've got to wait for the tomatoes and the mushrooms to cook. It's now time to add our tins of tomatoes, now these are all softened. Softened, it's time to add tomatoes, chicken stock, and some extra water. Stir that all in. Now we need to let this simmer after a good stir for about 5 to 10 minutes, so then all the juices and flavours get a chance to mix. Now that's on, This is the perfect time to get your spaghetti on, or as I like to make, courgette spirals. Now, courgette spirals are a lower in fat alternative to spaghetti or pasta, so that's what I'll be having. Now my courgette spirals are ready. They will be 3 minutes in hot water and they'll be done. Now that's had time to thicken a bit. Now is a good time to taste. You can do some last minute alterations to the seasoning, but that's pretty good, so I'm not going to be adding anything apart from a bit of paprika, a bit of basil. Stir that in, and we'll let that simmer for 2 minutes. And while that's simmering, let's go check on our meatballs. They should be done. Oh, they look lovely. Now let's get a couple of these onto the plate. And that's meatballs and sauce. So that was meatballs and sauce. Don't forget that you can always add and take away from the recipe to make it your own. I hope you enjoyed this video. We've got more on the way, so stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe. Now if you don't mind, I've been 100% average. I've got some dishes to do. Bye.
%, average.